Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the game Quetzal. Let's check it out. To set up for the game, what you're going to do is put one of your markers here on the score track, another marker up here on this little discovery track. You're going to shuffle these little crate tiles and then put 3 of them out on the board here. You're going to have this little airplane, which is the round marker, and put it on the number 1 right there. You're going to shuffle this deck of cards here and deal out spots, 8 spots here, then 2, 2, and 2, and there are little outlines on the board to show you where all the cards go. First player will start with the first player marker here. Everyone starts with 5 coins. They each get one of these little 50+ player markers, so if they make it to the end of the track and go back, they'll use this. They'll have their own little player board here, and they'll have a head meeple and then a bunch of 6 other meeples that are double-sided, both as white or black. As you see, it's white on one side, black on the other. And what they're going to do in this game is very simple. They're going to roll their meeples. Yes, roll your meeples. You roll your meeples on the board, and wherever they land, that's what they'll be. So for instance, I rolled 2 white meeples. So I have 2 white meeples. The ones that fell on their side are going to be wild. They could be white or black, whatever I wanted them to be. And of course, my leader meeple is always wild, but the reason you roll them, if any of these meeples were to fall feet first onto the table, then you would receive another coin. So it's just a way to get the extra money there. It's kind of weird. I don't know why that's thematic, but it's kind of funny too, and it's awesome because it forces people to kind of bounce their meeples there instead of just kind of lightly place them and flop them in a fortuitous roll for you. But anyway, this game is a little bit worker placement and a little bit bidding. So there are certain areas on the board here, and they're marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll just go through them all in that order. First off, if it has a white emblem, that means you must have a white-sided meeple up. If it has a black little meeple outline, then that means it has to be an adventurer. This is I think a scientist or whatever, and this is an adventurer. If it has either or, obviously it can be either or if it says gray, which these 2 have gray meeples, it could be either or as well. Now after the players have rolled their meeples, then they're going to start placing them on the board here. They could place them in the number 1 spot here. It's got to be a discoverer here, and he gets the first player token, which is worth 2 victory points at the end of the game if you're left with it. But on top of that, he gets to go up this little discovery track. Now as you're moving up this discovery track, you are getting little bonuses in the game, sometimes coins, sometimes victory points, sometimes a free crate there. But then of course you get to go first and place your meeples on the board, which is very important. Other places you could play is right down here to get first, second, third, fourth, or 5th pick in picking some of these cards. Now you're going to have to pay a certain amount of coin that's listed next to the meeple here. Plus in the top 4 spots, those all have to be white meeples, where the one at the bottom, the 5th spot, can be either or, white or black. Now after you pay that money, you'll go through here, and then you'll at the end of the round, once everyone's placed the meeples, then you'll take the actions. But the actions here are very simple. First player just picks 2 of these cards. Second player picks 2. Third player picks 1 card, and then 1 off the top of the deck. 4th player does the same thing, and then 5th player just picks whatever's remaining out from the deck there. Now these cards, there are 3 types of cards here, or 4 types I should say. Some are jars, some are spiked paddles, I don't know what this is. 2 are statues, one with kind of a bird's head, one with a skull on it, and then you also have tablets as well. And you're trying to get matches of these in the game, and the more the matches you get, the more victory points. So if I had 3 of these and I cashed them in, that'd be 7 points. If I only had 2 of them, it'd be 4. If I just cashed this in as is, it would have 1. Now sometimes on these cards they do have other little bonuses as well. Like this one lets me go up that initiative track or discovery track or whatever it's called. It lets me go at 1. Some of them give you extra coin, like this one does. Once I cash it in, I can also get some coin for that one. And then others just give you an additional victory point. So if I sold all 3 of those, that'd be 10 points plus the 1 at the top there. And that's basically how that works. While you're collecting while you're wanting to get these cards. Now these three bottom spaces, 3A, B, and C, this is where you start bidding for the 2 cards that are in each area. And this is really cool because whoever plays here first determines what you are bidding, if you're bidding white meeples or the black meeples. And of course, remember, the ones that land on their edge are wild, so I could place maybe 3 here. Later on, if another player said, you know what, I think I'm going to try to beat Matt here, and I'm going to put 3 and maybe a 4th one there. Well, then on my next turn, I could just use another one of my meeples. Remember, my big major meeple is wild too, and say, okay, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to outbid you there, like that. Oops, that's green there. But anyway, you kind of see how that goes. Now, there could be multiple people going for multiple little bids here, but if you're losing the bid, you can't remove your people. They stay there until the end of the round. At the end, after everyone's placed their meeples, how this is determined is the person with the most will grab the 2 cards here. And as you see in each area, not only would they get the 2 cards, but in this case, they would get a extra victory point, or go up the little discovery track, or here they gain an extra coin, depending on which bundle they won. Other places you can play on is this place here. This is the adventure. Only adventurers can go here, the black ones. And what it says is, hey, if you get rid of one of your cards, and this is in turn order, you'll solve them 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have the numbers by each on the board there to tell you what order you're going to do these in. You can discard one of these cards and get 7 coin. Now that's for the highest bidder there, and you definitely want to win that one because that's a way to get some big coin in the game, because money can be tight. Boxes 6 here are for anyone to play on. This one just lets you would at the end of these rounds here, when it got to you would actually pay 2 coins, and you could sell 3 of your cards for points. You have to pay coin for that one. This one is the only one that you'll do immediately, and they have a lightning strike by it. It's not even a number, it's a lightning strike. Basically what you'll do is you'll pay a coin, place any meeple there, any meeple, black or white, doesn't matter, and then it lets you roll all the rest of your remaining, or any meeples you want to. Okay, it's just an extra chance to get a better roll than what you got. If you're not happy with the roll you had, you can always go there, and that's a free-for-all. That's really, these 2 are the ones that you can't get blocked out of. You can put as many people in whatever color meeples you want. It doesn't matter. You could have a white meeple and a black meeple in the same area there. That's totally fine. But box number 5 here, this is where, again, you would pay money to go first, second, or third, and you would pick one of these little rewards in the game. Now, these rewards are kind of neat. They're very simple. For instance, this one, if you got this one, for every 3 coins, you could cash it in and go up on that little discovery track. Now, these you would kind of add to the side of your character, and as you see, you can have 2 at a time. If you were to get a 3rd one, you just move it over here to the X. Sometimes it's a one-time payout. For instance, if it has an X, that means I'm not putting it here, I'm just moving it over here. I got 3 coins and then move it over here. As you see at the end of the game, some of these could be worth victory points at the end of the game. You can always have 2 available, and they're, like I said, again, they're very easy to understand. So if I sold 3 of those little spike paddle cards, not only would I get the victory points associated to them, I get plus 2 victory points and 2 coin and a victory point at the end of the game. That's a really nice card as well. The last 2 spaces is the 7 spaces here. They're the 2 ships. Now in a 2-player game, certain areas are blocked off, like one of these ships would be blocked off, one of those little crates would be blocked off, and so on and so forth. But in 3- to 4-player game, everyone's playing with both ships. And again, you're bidding either white or black meeple, and whoever places their meeple on it first, so for instance, green went first and he put a white meeple there, that means only whites can be bid there. And if someone put the adventurers, the black meeple there, then only blacks could be bid there. And whoever won those auctions would get to basically trade in 6 of their cards. Now remember, in option number 6, you had to pay 2 coins to sell 3 of your cards. And this one, you can sell off 6 of your cards for victory points. So those are big ways to turn in those points, and you better believe at the end of the game, everyone's going to be bidding for those ships. Now, how the game ends is, of course, after 5 rounds, you're going to add up all of your victory points that you have left over, victory points from your little tiles there. And of course, every 3 coins also counts as a victory point. Don't forget, first player also gives you 2 victory points, and whoever has the most victory points at the end wins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Ooh, Ooh, rolling meeples. Looking at the art here, I was like, I'm not interested in this game. And then I looked into it, I was like, wait, they're rolling meeples? That's kind of cool. And I do like how they force you to kind of, have them bounce on that board, because getting them to stand on their feet, that's kind of dumb, but it's there because it's like the meeples going ta-da, and you're going, yay, I get a coin, that's it. But for some reason, that's so exciting, because when it happened to me, I was like, yeah. There's something about this game that's so much fun. Yes, it's worker placement, bidding mechanism, but I do like that. I like how it does matter. If you get to go first, you can decide whether it's white or black. You can see, what people have rolled. So he rolled a lot of adventurers. I rolled a lot of explorers. So I'm going to put it all explorers, because he didn't have enough adventurers. They don't have enough explorers to outbid me for this. Or I'm going to go place here first, because I would need these 2 cards to get this match. I need to make sure I can sell it on the ship, or if not, I need to sell in that one space there. That's one of the complaints I hear is like, well, at the end of the game, obviously the 2 ships are the 2 power moves. Whoever wins that's going to win the game. Not true. Not true. There is a spot, and you got to have the coin, of course, where you can just keep paying and keep turning in 3 cards. And it's much better than saving up your coin and cash in for small victory points. Remember, 3 coins are 1 victory point, but 2 coins can lead for way more victory points than that. And that's how the first time we played, I think I've won a few times, but one game I was way far behind, and I wasn't going to get any of those ships. I knew that. I had tons of money saved up, I had tons of cards, and no one was going to let me get those ships. So I just started playing my meeples in that area to where I could just pay about 10 coins, but I sold 30 cards. I sold all the cards anyway, and I made a ton of points there. And that's really how the game can play. Anyone can win. It doesn't boil down to who gets those 2 ships, even though you do want to get those 2 ships if you have too many cards. It penalizes the card hog, which I really love too. That person just hogging a bunch of cards are going to do some big cash-ins toward the end of their game. After a while, he may find himself blocked out of both ships. And if he doesn't have the money, he's not going to win the game. And I love that about this game. This game is very smart. It's very beautiful. The themes kind of plastered on there. But other than that, though, I do enjoy this game. This is one that flew under the radar even for me. I just found out about this game. Never knew anything about it until recently, and I'm so glad I have it in my collection. This is a fantastic game. Absolutely wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. Quetzal, great game. Check it out. All right, gamers, that's it for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on.